Yep,
I am
recording is active.
not.
Right.
Now
Well,
I am
this
recording.
is
Oh my god.
Thanks, Unknown.
Professional podcast.
all right.
Man, we're so
Yeah,
good at
the,
this.
the most professional podcast imaginable. All right, welcome everybody to the second Destiny Rising CC podcast that I've hosted. Last one was about a month ago, I think. I think it was
I think it's exactly
maybe
a month
not
ago.
exactly a
Yeah,
month ago.
exactly a month ago.
Was it exactly a month ago? Really?
Let's see.
Actually, maybe a day or give or take. You're like,
October 3rd.
Well, I know we did it on a Friday.
It's October 3rd.
oh, it was October 3rd? Oh,
October 3rd?
I thought it was a little bit earlier. I thought it was a week earlier than that. Never mind.
Yeah.
Almost a month.
Yeah, about 3 weeks. Because I think we did that one, like, the week before Act 2 came out.
Was it?
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
you're
yeah,
right.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we speculated on Act 2 and how there was probably not going to be anything in
Yeah.
it. And, well,
Now, this is definitely a much smaller one than the last time, mostly due to some scheduling issues and some slight miscommunications.
Yes. We are very good at organizing these.
hey, man, you show up, bro. You show up. That's it.
Yep. But we do have a new face here, Clay Karm, or Sid. You would know him by Sid on the leaderboards in Destiny Rising.
Howdy.
You want to introduce yourself, Clay?
Howdy.
Introduce myself. How do I do
Yeah.
introductions?
I mean, just give yourself a bit of an overview, like what you do in Destiny Rising, what kind of content you like to create, and your own personal perspectives on stuff.
Honestly, I'd be making doodles in Microsoft Paint for my content.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Love it.
That's the most enjoyable thing I do. And then in Destiny Rising, I log in, I do my daily bounties, and I run Expanse and Calamity Ops all day. Because
Random
those are the
leaderboards.
two forms of content that I like.
Yep.
All right.
I mean, that's pretty much one of the only things that inspires me to play Destiny Rising. Going through the Expanse and Calamity Ops. Well, and we also have Joe Nova as well. You all should remember him from the last podcast, but you
Hey.
can give yourself a quick intro as well.
All right. Yeah. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Joe Nova. I make Destiny Rising content as well. And I just basically post any sort of news, any sort of cool stuff, any sort of fun stuff. I like talking about Destiny Rising, and I enjoy the game for all of its aspects. You know, shifting gates, expanse, the story. I'm loving the story and the lore, especially that new trailer that dropped for whatever it's going to be for. That's got me excited.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I'll pass it off to Unknown, I guess.
Oh, well, I'm unknown, just like Joe Nova. I make a lot of essentially news things as well as some guides. That's mainly the things that I kind of focus on when it comes to Destiny Rising. And
Yeah, you've been really popping off with the guide content.
yeah, that's pretty much what I like to enjoy right now. And that's pretty much it. That's what I do right now lately. So
Yeah.
you guys want to look for some guides for some news, check it out.
I mean, I pretty much just talk about whatever interests me.
Pretty much.
That's about it for me.
Old man yells at clouds.
Oh.
I'm not that old yet. Haven't reached Unk status.
The
Even though
own status sneaks
I-
up on you.
I'm legally an Unk though.
Legally.
Legally enough.
Yeah.
Legally
my,
an Unk.
my sister has a child, so legally an Unk. Well, I think with all the intros done, we can get to talking about some of our topics. Now, the first one that I had listed out was Destiny Rising events, money versus fun.
I'm assuming this is leading into the Hellhest event.
Oh, the Hell has event.
Well, that's definitely one of the big things about it, but it also has to do like with the recent Festival of the Lost event. Well, I guess we haven't really gotten to the event proper, but
Yeah.
one of the main features of it was the fact that they're advertising this quote new bundle in the store with reused Destiny 2 sparrows.
Bro, have you guys seen how much that bundle actually is? It is crazy.
Oh,
It's crazy. When I saw it, I thought it was like, oh, maybe it's like a $20 bundle or something. It's crazy expensive bundle. There's no way that it should be that expensive.
Especially
I'm not
for
gonna lie,
reused
I didn't
assets.
look. I just hit buy.
Oh no!
Wait, how much is it?
I think it was like, wasn't it like 1,300 silver, something like that?
No, well, yeah, it was like, well, with the coupon, yeah.
Yeah, with a coupon.
Yeah, because I had a coupon. It was like 1,300 silver or something, I believe.
Yeah, I think it regularly is like 1,900, which whenever you convert it, ends up being like what? Because you could only buy certain amounts of silver, you have to essentially
Yeah,
spend $50.
It's somewhere like 35.
Yeah,
it's like
I guess when you look
$35.
at it that way, like I had recently just bought the largest bundle, so I just have a bunch of silver
Oh.
that I've been using for black market stuff. So I
And
was
that's
like,
how
oh,
they
fuck
get
it.
you.
That's
That's
how
how
they
they
get
get you.
I was like, man, I need to get that David S. Pumpkins emote. I'm not missing it.
Should have just waited for it to be individually sold.
I mean, I like the other stuff as well, so
Okay.
Oh, the Sparrow?
I'm repping it on all my characters. Also, I Sparrow race a lot, so that Sparrow will be handy.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
But-
yeah, it's funny too because they had asked a bunch of people for like, what like emotes would you like to see in the game, and that was the one that I was like, you should add that in the game, and then they put it in the game for the Halloween event. And I'm like, sweet, buying it.
So, on that though, one of the things when they were also asking me about emotes is I mentioned the gritty. So you can blame me for that. I'm responsible.
Love it.
Yeah.
That is probably, I mean, a little bit off topic, but that emote system that they're having right now is one of the, I've never seen that in any game ever
Yeah,
before. So to just see it
no, I
randomly in a
haven't seen it.
mobile game, it's like, what the fuck?
Like, that's the kind of stuff that I just want to see them do. Just do some, like, crazy stuff. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. This recent update, mixed with, like, the previous devlog, has given me a lot more hope for the title. But also, at the same time, I kind of feel like when it comes to the community sentiment, this is a little bit of a too little too late right now.
I mean,
And that
I
a
don't-
lot of people are, like, definitely wanting more.
I don't know, because like, I feel like it depends on the bubble. I feel like
Well,
I
yeah.
go to certain parts
Oh,
of the
I see.
internet and I see a lot of people being like, I don't give a shit. I'm hopping on every day. I'm playing for a few hours. I'm having a fucking blast. I'm waiting for season 2 for some more story content. And then like I see the other side of the bubble where it's like, is doom and gloom. This game is fucking dead and no one wants to touch it.
Yeah, that's like another thing, and it's probably ties into a bit better to a topic later. But there definitely does feel like there's like this little tiny bit in the center where it's people like me who's like enjoying the game enough, but also still very aware of all of the issues and how much is happening, and I'm sandwiched between people who are like, oh yeah, everything's completely fine, and the game doesn't really need to have any big changes or whatsoever, and then there's, the game sucks, why are you still playing it?
Oh,
And
bro. The two main
Yeah.
camps of every game.
Welcome to the Destiny community.
yeah,
No.
I don't know how long you've been here, but I've been here for quite a long time, and it's.
oh,
about
I
to
haven't
say.
been a CC for a good bit.
Yes.
I just
I'm
mean the
still-
Destiny. I just mean the Destiny community
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah,
No.
I'm gonna be honest, I used to think Dado was overblowing things a bit, but
Oh no.
now that
Oh no. Oh no.
I've actually got a taste of it, it's like, oh no, it actually is just like that, huh?
It's 100% like that, and it never stops. It just continues to get worse.
There's a reason why many YouTubers say, "Don't look at the comments. Just make your videos. Don't look at the comments."
Only the comments.
It doesn't make sense at first, but then afterwards it makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Well, I still look at the comments. I love all my comments.
I would say the you say that now until you have like 30,000 subscribers. I think things get a little bit different. The back on the topic though, that I think the biggest one for me was the Hellhest event.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
no.
was you release a new character. I expected the event to be like, oh, like play with the new character, like do some like Calamity Ops, do some Grandmaster while playing Hellhest, or like something like that, or like anything to actually deal with playing the character. But it just came down to like buy the character and then get it to gold. You're done.
Although, don't forget to make sure you keep pulling on the banner.
Yeah.
There's so many issues with that. Like, one of the things that set me off the most was the fact that if you wanted to get the second copy of Royal Contravene, you'd have to buy the skins.
Oh yeah,
well.
you have to.
But
Skins.
also, like, one of the terrible things about it is that if you get lucky, you still have to pull more. Like, you could wind up having to pull an extra, like, 2 copies of Hellhest beyond T6 if you get lucky enough.
Yep.
Wow. Something that I actually didn't know till somebody brought it to my attention is that the character quests, you could only actually do the whole thing if you own the character.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what is
that's
that?
another thing.
What's the point of that? Like, the character quest should be available to everybody, so they get a taste of the
character
character.
quest should sell you the character.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The character is just sell you
Yeah.
the character.
Yeah, like all they give you is like the trial for the first, at least for like the main tier 5s. Yeah, tier 5s. They give you like the first introduction of the quest, like they did for Estella Gwyn and Hellhest, but like they don't do it for Rossi or Omeko, so you just don't get to experience those until you pulled them. Though to be fair, they are in the permanent banner.
Yeah, but it's just so weird to me that they've locked the story content behind owning the characters.
Yeah, and like now there's people who don't have Gwyn or Estella who just can't play those story missions anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me. So I didn't even think about something like that being locked behind the character because it doesn't make any freaking sense at all.
Yeah.
So for those of you, I think this is mostly just to Fyros that have played like other gacha games. When it comes to them releasing new characters and those characters getting like stories based around them, how does it usually work in other gacha games?
It's usually just something you could do.
It depends on the title. Now, there are, like, depending on the gacha, so for instance, like Uma Musume, and I'm pretty sure Arknights as well, you do have to own the character in order to do them, or in order to do their quests, and unlock the whole thing. But there is a limited time period, like during the banner of the character, where you can do the quest. Like the
Interesting.
character stories.
Okay.
But when it comes to, like, a lot of the other gachas that Destiny Rising seems to be modeled a bit closer to, so like the Genshin Impact, Withering Waves, all that other sort, the character quests in those games are available for all the people to enjoy, regardless of if you own the character or not.
Okay. Yeah, I think they should be able to give those story missions to other to like everyone. It's just like they would have to change the system and how you unlock those story missions, because right now they make it so you have to get to what is it, Adept 1?
Yeah, frankly, I feel like the mastery requirements for continuing with the story is just so
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
unnecessary.
Yeah,
And it makes me worried that if they release more story content, like let's say they expand on, Gwyn's story down the road, like are they going to make it so you have to go even further past Adept 1 and get her like up to like Intermediate 2 or something?
no.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, are they going to do that down the road, or like the whole mastery system to get story content? I'm just give me the story content. Just let me play it.
Yeah, they should just scrap that whole thing. They should just
Yeah, I honestly don't like it. You're just locking out the story content for no reason. It just makes
Especially-
it so I have to bring that character into Expanse for a day or two and grind out with that character to be able to play the story.
Well, you actually can do a little trick. So if you let the chest stack up into the reward reclaim, and then swap to that character, and then claim them from the reward claim menu with
Yeah.
Pinnacle entry, you actually will get the proficiency on that unit.
Yeah. And it's the same with Legendary Campaign. You can do it with borrowed characters. So like if you start the activity as Umeko and then borrow like a Ningfei, when the activity ends, you'll open the chest as Umeko and you would get your experience for Umeko.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. I find it easier just to hop into that Singularity Chaos and do my daily stuff on whatever character that I want to get. I have everything up to like I have all the stories unlocked now, and that was basically how I did it. I just hopped into Singularity Chaos
Yep.
each day with a different character.
Yeah, but the quest being locked behind owning the characters feels especially bad when we've had like that season 1 or act 2 release, and the only content that was released with those drops was the character quests
Yeah.
of the new
That
characters.
feels extra bad for sure.
So if it's just a situation where you're not really interested in the character's playstyle, then like you're just forced to pull the character anyway if you want to progress through their story.
Yeah. I feel like I do feel like there is enough rewards throughout the season to at least eventually pull one copy. Like even as a
Yeah.
free to play. But like
Not so much as a free to play, like per season you could probably pull one
Okay,
unit,
like,
but
well, let's say
per
like
act.
I would say definitively as like a free to play light. Like if you're getting
Oh,
like the
free-to-play
blessing
light.
or the battle pass, then
Okay, yeah, if you're a subscription player, you should be able to guarantee a copy of every single unit.
yeah, free to play is definitely a lot rougher.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I agree with you. Like the story content for each season should be available to everyone. It shouldn't be locked
Mhm.
behind
Mm-hmm.
pulling a character or whatever. If anything, like the story content for that act should be a selling point for that character. You should
Yep.
be able to play the
Yep.
story as hell as be able to, you know, play with the weapon or whatever, play with the character, try its abilities, and be like, oh, I like this. I'm gonna buy this. Um, they would also, I'm pretty sure, have to change if they did it that way. They'd have to change how some of the story missions work because I don't know if you guys noticed, but like the first act of like each character's story comes with default weapons,
Yeah, I
and then
noticed that. And
the
then
second half allows you to use the weapons that you have equipped on
Ah.
that character. So they'd
Yeah.
have to change it so the second half of that would be like default weapons as well. If you so people who don't own that character would just be able to have weapons to use.
or they could just code it so that where like if you own the character, you can just play using your build regardless.
Yeah,
But if you don't own
true.
the character, then
Mhm.
it'll give you the trial unit.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of wraps up most of our thoughts on it. Now, I will say when it comes to the events more recently, I feel like they've been doing a much better job reward wise.
Yeah. Like
I
Morgan
wouldn't
sounds
really
good
Yeah, I wouldn't
this
really
time around.
say it's gotten to the point where I'm like elated about it.
Yeah.
However, the Wheel of Glimmer was definitely all right. The login event is also all right. Now they did have that weird post where they for some reason said it was 15 polls when it's not even 5.
Wait, for what?
On their Twitter, they advertised that the login event would give you 15 draws, but
Really?
it gives you like 4.7 draws,
Yeah, it's definitely not
and
15.
2 of them are standard.
15 would be nice, but
Yeah,
Maybe that was the original plan. I don't know, who knows? But the login event's definitely nice, and we'll see what comes with like what rewards come with the activity coming up.
Oh, yeah, the
Maybe the
activity
rest
should
of
have
those
some
15
rewards.
pulls will be in there.
but on the topic of like event rewards and stuff, now the Morgan's Hunt last time I criticized it for it not really being worth it to play after getting the like all of the high value claims.
hmm
And it does look like they listened to that feedback. And not only did they make it, well, I guess it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You know, like there's a little bit of good and a little bit of bad when it comes to the new key system. But basically, it's not like before where you got all of them on the first day. Now it'll stack all the way up to 20 for the first 4 days, giving you 5 high value claims every single day until it all stacks up to the maximum of 20. And after you've done your 20 high value claims, then it's just the basics from then on out. However, when it comes to the common rewards, this time we now get a 15% chance for an exotic artifact to drop per chest. And not only that, More Than Unknown has confirmed that they are dropping high stat artifacts. Now, they are completely random, but I feel like being able to get a completely random, like, potentially high stat artifact from basic claims is really, really good.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Compared to what we've received before.
Yeah.
No, hopefully this event is like the first one of many to come, where like we see like the feedback that we've been giving actually be put into effect for the events. Because I know we all talked about the events sucking for like essentially since the event started.
I think my copium brain continues to be like, oh, okay, so this is just another buildup of them showing like, hey, we're listening. This is a small change we'll do in the midst while we're currently working on a large change in the background for season 2. And that's what I've been saying for a while. I believe any of these large changes that we've been advocating for or expecting to see. Hi, Bethesda. Can you stop rubbing up against my microphone? I'm expecting we'll see those come season 2. Any of the really big changes.
I mean, the server merging was pretty huge for me personally.
Yeah, I have worries about that, but I'm excited about it at the same time.
Yeah, I've got worries as well, like in particular when it comes to Calamity Ops ranks.
Oh yeah, Calamity Ops.
Yeah.
And you know, on that topic, that's actually a pretty good segue into our next topic, which was meta per cycle, and also talking about the speed and endgame rewards, like the speed meta. And also just like the cycling of Shinkas and shields.
Yeah, I found it was kind of rough this time that like Calamity Ops didn't change at all when it came to like it's again the exact same modifiers as last time. It's Solar Arc, Rapid Precision once again. And obviously they're trying to cater towards the like Hellhest and Estella, but like Estella's already gone at this point. So like you probably could have changed the Solar Rapid to something else.
Yeah.
Change it to like Void Spread, you know? Like
well, Void Spread's coming in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, Void Spread is coming in 2 weeks.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like like the modifiers should be changing every cycle. They shouldn't be staying the same every 2 cycles.
Nah, I get what you mean.
I think one issue with it is that there's only like one real endgame arena to interact with right now. And how it's kind of functioned in a lot of like other gachas that I played is that instead of you having like this one primary activity to clear, each one has like, well, it is like one primary activity, but like each stage of it essentially benefits a different style of play. So it's kind of like the Expanse, except for there's like 4 different things you got to go through. So it's less of like master this one activity and grind it all the way to the end, and more of like figure out the right combination of like characters and strategy to clear this wide berth of stages.
I feel like we may eventually see like a change up in endgame, especially once we start seeing more raid content in the game. I would have loved to see them keep Eclipse in the game as some sort of end game content to basically just encourage a wider variance of characters, like even like cycle like Calamity Ops between like Eclipse activities and strikes, so it's not just a strike every time. Like it'd be interesting to see like a leaderboard scoreboard in Calamity Ops for say Izaka's Tabernacle 1 week instead of a strike 1 week.
But one big thing that is becoming a bit of a clear issue to a lot of people is the fact that the speed run endgame is increasingly restrictive.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we've so far had 2 of the 4 Calamity Opses that Estella has been, quote, featured in, where she was literally forced out of the top teams because she's too slow.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's been able to.
I don't know if the recent buffs to her
Yeah, that's what I was
are
gonna
going to
say.
make her, like, potent enough to where even though she is slow, she can just clear the enemies that much faster and better that it would be worth it to run her. But I feel like the bigger thing is just that she is a rapid fire character and therefore doesn't
Yeah,
really provide much more benefit than Ningfei.
I was gonna say that's
In
the
spite
thing
of
is
being
that she's
slow.
competing with Ningfei, and
Yeah.
that's the hardest thing to do in the game right now.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, I feel like people would hate it, but it'd be interesting to see if they did character lockouts like they do with GMs for Calamity Ops.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I don't know a character
No,
lockouts.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I would hate that. Could you imagine just like not being able to even participate in the end game because you didn't pull the new unit? Like not even the fact that you're not competitive, but you're literally locked out of participating.
I mean, you wouldn't have to. You could still play it with other characters, but you
Well,
would be definitely at a huge disadvantage if you didn't have it. But I
exactly.
mean, you're still at that huge disadvantage if you don't have
When I
it.
have to play Calamity Ops, but I only could use Ikora. Oh no.
Those people who invested into Ikora day one are gonna have a fucking blast of a time,
yeah,
though.
Yeah.
the Ikora mains.
But now, when it comes to end games, I feel like we need a bit more variance in what is like good in it, like what traits necessarily are good in the end game. Because currently the primary trait that is good in endgame is speed, like being able to move around the map quickly.
Yeah, I'm tired of the speed. Give us
Survivability
something
is
else.
obviously the
The
Yeah.
speed could stay.
survivability is obviously the
Now,
next one.
now it would be fine if like speed was necessary in Calamity Ops, but
Mhm.
not necessary in Expanse. But speed heavily benefits both modes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the big issue, that
So,
we don't have any
yeah,
alternative.
Yeah. So I mean, that's one thing when it comes to a gacha game that I've been playing for a long time now and still thoroughly enjoying. Wuthering Waves. It started out with its only end game being the Tower of Adversity, which was essentially like this boss clearing multiple stages whole deal. But there were characters in Wuthering Waves that had AoE focus in their moveset.
Hmm.
And obviously, like, you wouldn't want a character who is good at AoE to be able to deal the same amount of damage as a character who's only good at single target damage. Like, that just doesn't really make sense. It'd be like if your rocket launcher dealt as much damage per shot as, like, a linear fusion rifle.
Yeah.
Or dealt as much DPS as a linear fusion rifle.
I think they like
So,
there's weird instances because like there's almost it's bad to say, but Ningfei is almost good at everything in the game. He has ad clearing, he has speed, he has damage. Like I feel like the only instance where you could say Ningfei can be outbeat by other characters is in small singular room activities where somewhere
well,
where like Estella can shine with her summons, or like something that requires huge amounts of like burst boss DPS where like Hellas could shine.
well, the main thing with Ningfei is that he doesn't have endurance. Ningfei essentially needs to take breathers in between like encounters, and stuff like Calamity Ops and Expanse allows Ningfei those breathers, like when the boss goes into an immune phase and teleports, or when you clear the room and now you have to traverse to the next room. That he's building back up his stacks, he's resetting his cooldowns.
Well, I mean, not anymore.
Well, I know not like specifically in between the stages, but I mean like even in the Expanse, with like the abilities no longer regenerating in between stages, you still do have those like moments of downtime.
Yeah.
So, in order to like essentially give Ningfei struggle, we need endurance content, and that's why I was bringing up like the Wuthering Waves example, is that you had characters that were like strong in AOE, but not as strong against single targets. But the only end game was single target damage. So they made a second end game, which was like entirely AoE focused, and there were some characters who are good at both, but a lot of the characters who were like top tier in that single target dropped down significantly in the AoE stuff. So that's what would happen if we got into a situation where we had some real endurance content in Destiny Rising.
Yeah. Makes
'Cause
sense.
You probably wouldn't want to take Ning Fei into something like a D2 Grandmaster.
A D2
No, like-
Grandmaster? I don't...
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. Are you asking me to complete it in a certain amount of time?
Yeah,
Well-
No, I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
uh,
So
He needs, because he is a much more squishy character than some of the
Mhm.
others that are options.
I would feel like having an endgame that is kind of like Morgren's Hunt, where it's a score attack instead of a time attack.
Morgan's is
Where-
the one place where I haven't seen.
No, he
Ning,
doesn't. He doesn't
like,
appear in Morgan's
dominate-
Hunt at all.
Yeah.
Well,
it's-
yeah, and that's because Morgren's Hunt is endurance content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying like we need small room activities with like that don't require you to do like insane traversal, where you can just kind of buckle down in an area and start melting ads.
I mean,
A
just
wave defense,
imagine
endgame?
kind of like, yeah, like a defense endgame or even like a boss rush.
Oh yeah,
Onslaught
yeah.
for
Boss
Destiny
Rush.
Rising.
Yeah,
You know, I'm surprised they actually didn't take Onslaught, huh? And put it into the game.
I mean, it's probably I wouldn't be surprised if it came eventually, or something
Yeah.
similar at least.
so in that content, that's where other characters would have a significantly better time, especially when you have characters like Yolder, who would be able to essentially maintain full stacks of
Oh, yeah.
all of her stuff if she's like constantly getting belted by enemies. Because one of the main things about Yolder that kind of hinders her is the fact that she resets in between engagements, essentially.
Yeah, I think the one thing that hinders at times too is just the fact it's a mobile game, and it definitely has restrictions on the amount of ad density that is allowed in each encounter.
I
Like,
don't
there's only so many ads that they can put in when it comes to a mobile game. So it's not like you're
I'm
going to
not-
have Destiny 2 where you're having like 20, 30 ads in a room, and ad clearing is going to be,
I'm not really sure that's the case. We have some like pretty good enemy density in Destiny Rising.
I really don't think, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I can't think of a
It really
single room
depends
that's had
on-
like more, maybe 12 enemies.
Yeah, it really depends on where you look, but there definitely are like rooms and situations where they are like pushing up the ads. I don't know exactly if they're like teetering on that limit that they supposedly have, but I feel like there's definitely a bit more that they could do with it.
I think I bring it up mostly just because I feel like that was my main issue with
I mean,
Trinity
there's
Ghoul when they dropped it. I couldn't find when I played it for like multiple days. I
there's-
couldn't find a single room where it actually felt worth it for ad clearing.
I mean, there's literally the Menace Above. Like, that has really, really big waves of ads.
Menace Above?
That's the thing. Like, when I'm thinking about it, like you probably have about 6 on one side of the room, 6 on the other side of the room, and then a Sheikah on each side. So you're probably pushing, probably like 15 ads, but they're split between both sides of the room. It's not like you have, 15, 20 ads coming at you individually. But it's probably that Menace Above is probably one of the
there's also
activities with the
inside,
most.
but yeah, and the thing is, like, you've also got the inside, and there's like both of those, and those rooms get like stuffed full of ads on the inside if you don't clear them out fast enough.
Yeah, true.
So they definitely can do it.
Then they need
And
to do it.
I definitely really feel like they need to increase the amount of enemies
No, yo, for
that
sure.
we're seeing in general, especially in like patrol areas. Because it's like impossible for me to find any enemies in patrol sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like it's really dependent on like public event activity and
Yeah, I
front lines. Like if front lines is running, like front lines is the only thing in the area that has enemies. All the other enemies
yeah,
despawn.
I would really like it if we got some kind of I don't know. I don't know if like endgame free roam is the best way to put it.
Like a harder
But
version
like
of like Patrol.
yeah, where essentially like there's high value missions and like stuff to run around and explore. Maybe there's like some small mechanics you can do around the place. You know, like Dreaming City essentially.
I mean, we had patrols in the beta, and they just got rid of them.
Wait, we did?
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I don't really know why they got rid of them.
Yeah,
It's
they
just
got
kinda
rid
weird.
of them, and it sucks because it was like the easiest way to farm planetary reputation. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, they had patrols, and then I believe there was like, no, there wasn't. But yeah, like the patrols were pretty fun. They had you go into like the different areas, and then like
Hmm.
the enemies would spawn, and you'd have to kill them, or you'd have to do different activities depending on the patrol. So I don't know why they got rid of them, unless maybe they're planning to re-bring them back in some different form eventually.
Yeah.
Um, but I enjoyed them, and they were a way to like get rewards and explore the patrol area in a beneficial way.
Yeah. I know, like, the patrol stuff is definitely off topic from what we were originally talking about, but another thing that I just remembered that definitely feels a bit off to me is the fact that we don't have random drop mythics or exotics from enemies.
Yeah, I did notice that. It's very odd to have a Destiny game without random engrams dropping.
Yeah.
Like the highest I've seen is a purple, and it's like whenever I see an Ingram on the ground, I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like it
Yeah.
happens so rarely that I'm like,
Because
oh,
it only
yeah, that's
happens
a
like
thing that
patrol.
can
I don't
happen.
think it even happens in like regular activities.
Yeah, I don't know, but it would be nice to see a mythic pop or like
Yeah,
it
I mean,
probably never, but like even like an exotic maybe like. The
like
excitement of playing
that would be
Destiny
so
2 and
hype.
seeing an exotic pop is like always thrilling,
Hmm.
Gives
Yeah,
you a high.
I wanna blow up a boss and watch like some gold engram just like flash on screen, and like drop onto the ground, and I have to scramble over to grab it.
Yeah. Um,
And I think it would just be like the coolest thing ever if that was available for like basically any enemy. Like obviously bosses would be the only time where it'd have like a decent drop rate,
Hmm.
yeah,
but
like the end of strikes or whatever.
yeah,
Um, I mean, a little on topic but off topic. I feel like the Ingrams are too big. They look weird when you do see the blue or purple ones pop out. They're just weirdly big.
Really?
I don't know if it's just me, but
I don't know, man. I
I
haven't seen an
haven't really
engram.
had any issues.
I can't comment on this.
that's funny.
but
When you do see one, take note of it. They're
Yeah.
big. They're like double the size of a Destiny 2 Ingram.
Oh, wow.
yeah. Well, I think the next topic I had listed out was character balance, and specifically mentioning Shinka coverage.
Okay.
So, very obviously, the characters are completely unbalanced.
Oh yeah.
We've got a couple, maybe 3 characters that are significantly stronger than most of the cast, and we've got a few characters who are significantly weaker than the rest.
Yeah, I think
No.
the worst one right now is explosive Sheikah coverage.
Yeah, but thankfully, at the very least, we haven't really had. Well, I was gonna say, thankfully, we haven't really had any content being restrictive of that or important content, but notably in this sort of Act 2 period, it's been a very common thing to have Arc Void with Blast Piercing as the Shinkas, meaning that basically everybody can't bring any units into the Grandmaster Strikes.
Yeah.
Because the
Well,
amount
the
of people who have like built Umekos and Atals and Ikoras was very small, and that leaves only the 2 new characters, which if you didn't get or build either of them, you kind of just are completely out of luck in there. But
Yeah, that first time that piercing popped on Grandmasters and before Hellhest came out was the most infuriating time of my life because like my first Grandmaster would be with Tan2 and then you'd have two people running Ning Fei and it'd go amazing. And then the next time I try to run it, I wouldn't have energy and I wouldn't be able to use my Tan2, so I'd have to
Yep.
use someone else and no one in the world was powering Tan2 except for fucking me. So you would never have a piercing dude. So you just go in
Yeah.
with three Ning Feis and be like, great, time to die.
yeah. So obviously the Shinka coverage is a primary way in which they are selling units.
Oh yeah. And you can tell they're restricting tier 5 Sheikah coverage um for power creep in the future. Because right now every single one but Yolder has double Sheikah coverage. And eventually down the line they're gonna be like, oh, here's the first tier 5 that does spread and piercing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know it's coming. So like they're obviously doing it on purpose.
Now,
I get it. It's a gotcha game. You gotta gotcha get your money.
now something that is a bit nice, and it also kind of like factors into the whole we haven't really had issues with Blast yet, is the fact that there are a good amount of exotics in this game that are essentially able to stun two Shinkas.
Yep.
Yeah,
Galos, my beloved.
whether it's on purpose or not.
Yeah. But like Gallows and Octant both being able to stun Blast Shinkas. Mahamiri being
Everything.
yeah, but I honestly I feel like Mahamiri isn't really like that bad personally.
I don't know.
Mostly
I
because
feel like in the recent, I'd have to. Clay could
Well,
probably.
the big issue with it is the fact that Ning Fei almost never has an ammo issue. Like
Yeah.
all the rooms that you have to go through, you never really run into a scenario in which you run short on ammo. Especially with the addition of Hellhest.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Clay could maybe attest to this. Maybe not, but it feels like in this recent update they made it harder for Maha to deal with spread Shikas. I feel like before this update, I was able to just blind fire and immediately melt
Oh,
a spread Sheikah.
so that was a bug initially. So initially, the weapon mastery was spreading the damage to all the drones,
Okay.
but that was a bug because weapon mastery isn't supposed to be able to do that because even though it is a weapon damage multiplier, it is still technically ability damage.
Okay, yeah, they didn't mention anything in the patch notes, but I just noticed this
Yeah.
week that like I went to use Ning Fei in a spread activity, and it took much longer to deal with the spread.
Yeah, that
Shikas.
was a bug that got fixed a while ago.
Well, that's good because I'm more
Mhm.
than happy with. I've stated this before, and I feel like a character should not be able to deal with its Shikas that it is not powered to as proficiency as the Shikas that it is that like they're supposed to be able to deal with.
I don't really agree with that. I
Like
definitely
if you
feel
have a
like
rapid fire character, I don't think that rapid fire character should be able to melt a piercing character as fast as a rapid fire character. I shouldn't be able to take Ning Fei in and just melt an impact shield as fast as I can melt a rapid fire shield. That's like that. At least that's what I'm trying to get across here. I feel like if you want to deal with impact, you should be you should be in. There should be a benefit to running an impact character.
well, I mean, there is because like you don't. I mean, if there wasn't, then people would have been running triple Ning Fei in the previous Calamity Options, but there is still room for that impact unit in there
Yeah,
because it is still more proficient, and there is also the other elemental coverage because elemental coverage does matter a decent bit, at least when it doesn't eat into your speed in the run.
I don't know. I think I've just seen it in multiple instances where I've seen certain characters be able to melt certain Shikas as fast or faster than the character that is running that weapon archetype.
Mhm.
and obviously it's not as prominent in higher power activities, but in the lower power activities, when it comes to leaderboard runs, like you can see in Tabernacle, like Gwyn just doesn't exist in Tabernacle. There's no impact characters in the Tabernacle leaderboard anymore, like because you just don't care about the impact. Like everything just melts that impact shield. Um, Obviously, that's a lower power activity. Like you're overpowering it
Yeah.
at that point. But I've seen it even in a higher power activities where, like there was, I forget what it was. There was a week where there was impact shield, and it just instead of running, I think it was the week where it was impact and rapid fire,
Mhm.
and instead of Gwyn, they just ended up running Ningphase and Estella because the Ningphase could just deal with the impact Sheikahs faster than Gwyn was, and they were faster than Gwyn was, so it just didn't matter. No one ran Gwyn that week. It was the top of leaderboard was just Ningfei and Estella, even though it was an impact week.
You talking about on the Expanse,
No, that was a Calamity Ops.
the Calamity?
Calamity
For
Ops
sure,
really did
because
that.
I'm pretty sure Gwyn was always used in the top Calamity Ops runs.
Because
during the
Fulminator
impact cycle.
was Estella, Gwen, Ningfei.
Yeah, and the next one was double Ning Gwyn.
Was it Clay? I thought the top of that Fulminator was a double Ningfei Estella run.
It
I
might
could
have
be
been for
wrong.
it might have been for a day, but I'm pretty sure the top runs all used Gwyn just because being able to get that void damage for the shields, as well as the fact that she actually was pretty good at dealing with the impact shields, notably.
All right. I mean, I could be wrong. I could have swore I saw when I looked at the leaderboards, I saw double Ningfei Estella at the top of the leaderboard for that week. But I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well,
Let's see.
what about you, Unknown? You got anything
For what?
you
For the
wanna-
Shinka stuff?
Well, yeah, for like the character balance
Um,
and Shinka coverage.
I see like the point Nova is trying to make with allowing the characters that actually focus on the Shinka to always have an advantage against the Shinka, and I think that already exists. I personally really like being able to deal with multiple Shinkas, especially if it requires an exotic itself, because then you're building into the character, you're building into the exotic. You should be rewarded for going for the utility of the exotic. Although when the exotic is also really good at damage, that's when it might become a problem, which is maybe what happens with Maha. But if the exotic is like, I feel like the Galos is a perfect example. It's not like they go-to when it comes to DPS for Stella. It's like the worst of the machine guns actually when it comes to DPS. But it has all that utility when it comes to actually dealing with the Shinkas. It can deal with the impacts, it can deal with the spreads, it can deal with the of course the rapid fires. So I feel like I do like they can do that. I just don't think that it should also be like the best weapon on the character.
Yeah, that's definitely the way that I would agree it should go about. That you should either choose between versatility or potency.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Heir Apparent now is obviously going to be the most potent heavy weapon on Estella. However, it's not going to be versatile like the Gallows was. But if you're in a piece of content where you're using Estella where you don't need Void and you don't need Blast, then obviously Heir Apparent's going to be the better option.
Yep. Have you guys seen fully ranked up Heir Apparent? It's putting out some crazy numbers.
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that it's pretty nasty now, though, but I haven't been able to see any videos of people showing off the actual damage.
Mm-hmm. I don't have it fully
damage for what?
maxed out, but so I can't.
Wait for Heir Apparent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fully maxed out one.
Oh, I hear.
Oh, you.
Yeah, I hear
Also,
Heir
apparently they
Apparent
fixed
nerfs.
they fixed the Hellhest T6 damage bug this update.
Yeah, they did.
So
Which is insane because she was already
she
doing.
just absolutely cooking everything now, like cooking everything even harder.
Wait, I didn't know about this.
Yeah, she.
Yeah, so-
the whales are gonna be cooking even harder now.
Yeah, so T6 Hellhest was bugged where she wasn't properly dealing the T6 damage increase with heavy weapons.
Oh yeah.
So that's like another 100% multiplier.
That's insane because she was
Yeah.
already melting things so fast.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
How does one invest into a gun for it to be useless a month or so, or after a month or so? That is definitely like a good thing to say in name TV, and that's not really on the list of topics, but I feel like that's definitely something that's great to talk about or mention, because that's really been stewing in the back of my mind for like so long, because I've got all these people who, whenever they see me like log into Destiny Rising, they see me with like 400 cores, like 50 or like 500 selector chests, and like 2,000 pinnacle energy in my inventory. And they're like, "Why don't you spend it? Why don't you build your character?" And I'm just sitting here thinking like, because I'm not gonna use them in like a month's time.
Yeah, I feel
And
like
if
it
I'm
would
already
be...
good with my units right now, I literally have zero reason to invest any more resources in them when those resources are going to be better spent when the units that I currently have are not able to clear the end game, and the new units, which we've already seen with Hellhest, have the potential to be just that much better.
Yeah, I feel like it would be different if it wasn't such a grind to invest. Like if you were able to level up, say, like max out multiple exotics in a month, then it would feel
Yeah.
different. But right now,
Yeah.
it takes so fucking long just to max out one exotic. It's like,
Yeah.
well, like why am I gonna spend so much time investing all my time into this one exotic when a month from I could just save up for a month from now when fucking some other crazy gun comes out
Mhm.
and just put all the resources I've stockpiled into that.
Yeah, which is one reason why I'm like kind of iffy about the Estella buffs, because it feels really, really bait right now. Because it's like really exciting, like, oh, Estella just got buffed, she's gonna be like so much better, and like also there's this Morgan's Hunt where Estella's gonna be really, really good. Let's invest in our Estella, when she's gonna be completely out of the end game.
Yeah, and that's the thing,
in
like
2 weeks.
in a little bit when season 2 drops, like we're gonna start getting probably like spread activities,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna get a void spread character, and everyone's gonna want void spread because no one's
Well-
gonna want to run Ikora, so it's like you better start saving up to invest in that character.
Yeah. So the void spread is definitely going to be the most interesting thing, because I mean, when it came to the like arc piercing, I know beforehand, and I'm pretty sure this was also talked aloud about in like high end groups. So I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Clay, but I know at least for me in my discussions about like the upcoming arc piercing that we were expecting, we were kind of thinking that the mythic unit might be a bit of a flop simply due to the fact that Ningfei was arc, and in that way we would be able to like really, really push the arc stuff with Ningfei and rapid fire, and then we could just use a different piercing unit who would probably be a bit more potent and available, like Tantu for the shields, or Umeko for like the more consistent damage increases. And then Hellhest came out, and obviously she was just like the most broken unit ever. So, but when it comes to the Void Blast specifically, it's not like a situation before where we've got like some units that could work really well, but we don't necessarily know. However, in the Void Blast, we've got obviously Wolf, even though he isn't Void, he is Arc, and
Yeah, it'd
has
be different
access
if-
to the GL.
Like, maybe season 2 they drop more weapons and we could get a void auto rifle, but like, and that would mix things up a little bit, but
Yeah. But more importantly, we've got Gwyn and we've got Yolder, both of which have access to really good exotic weapons that are good at dealing with blast Shinkas. And obviously, like, the main thing about those is that they'd be power ammo hungry. However, we did just get Hellhest, who is able to supply the team with not just speed increases, but also power ammo.
Yeah.
Obviously, it could just be another situation where the new unit is just that much better and just that good. But I'm saying that there's definitely going to be a lot more potential competition and options when it comes to that. I'd probably say that Yolder would have a better shot compared to Gwyn. Because when you'd want to use Gwyn to, do the salvos against the Blashinkas, you would have to do some weirdness where you, like, half load it in order to, not chew through all of your power ammo. But Yolder, you just obviously do the heavy attack. And specifically with Partridge Sky, she did get a pretty good buff where it's not going to chew through all of her stacks with the DOT anymore. And the other important thing is that Partridge Sky is a solar weapon.
That is true.
Meaning that she can also use it against the Solar Shield mini-bosses. So, I mean, obviously, Clay would have, like, the most experience with this kind of optimization. So, you want to lead us on this?
Hold on. Wait, sorry, I got a little too lost in the sauce.
Oh.
Talking about like what are you expecting like character wise from the next cycle of Calamity Ops when we're looking at like Void spread?
Mm-hmm.
Like do you think any of the characters we have right now are even going to be somewhat redeemable in that activity?
Like, well, the thing I was talking about was like, could any of the characters right now like necessarily replace one of the mainstay units that we've had, such as Ningfei, or could be better at it potentially than the upcoming unit?
Any character we have now.
Yeah. So like the ones that I brought up was like Wolf, Gwyn, and Yolder being the obvious examples because of their ability to deal with Blast and Void, or also Blast and Arc.
I would say probably Yolder Gwyn.
Yeah.
Like off the top of my head.
So this could be like some heavy copium in my head, but with the removal of rapid fire, and obviously with like Blast and Piercing probably being Ningfei's two worst Shinka types, and Wolf obviously having the Arc Sati Elixir grenade launcher, do you think, and even though he is like slightly slower than Ningfei, do you think that he potentially has the opportunity to be more meta than Ningfei in this next Calamity Ops?
Wolf has a better chance at Ningfei or than Ningfei.
Yeah, like in the next Calamity Ops. Without rapid fire, obviously. Or impact.
As a heavy Ningfei enjoyer, I just think Ningfei's clear times are just overall better.
I agree with Sid on that one. Like I don't know. I feel like 100% what it's going to end up being is it's going to be you're probably going to run a Hellhest in two of the new character, or a Hellhest of the new character in a Ningfei, so the Ningfei can rush forward and help you like the other two unstuck and teleport further into the Calamity Ops.
Yeah.
I
I feel like the unstuck abuse is getting a bit out of hand.
Oh, it's 100% it's out of hand.
It definitely is. But like it's something that hasn't been patched yet, so it's something that's going to be used.
Yeah, I definitely
like, there's
understand.
still rooms where like once you get into that room and start fighting enemies, it still pulls your teammates anyways, or the teammates can just like seen in the Forge, the teammates can just jump in lava or something, kill themselves, and then respawn next to you. There's plenty of ways for like a fast character to move forward while other teammates are clearing stuff in the room, just to make the activity go faster. So I feel like we're either going to see Hellhest and the new spread character twice in the leaderboards, or we're going to see Hellhest and like one of the spread characters and one Ningfei. Like that's what I see happening. I don't see Wolf. Like I know you're as you're as much of a Wolf supporter as I am a Tan2 supporter. I just don't see Wolf ever being top of the leaderboard, like ever.
Okay. Well, yeah, on the topic of like the speedrunning stuff in general, I definitely understand that like death warps and certain and like skips like that have been a mainstay in terms of like speedrunning in general. But like my question right here, which I guess we're going on a tiny bit more of another tangent, is
I like tangents.
well, yeah, like obviously all that stuff is like really awesome for like speedrunning in general, but due to the competitive and especially the competing for in-game resources, I feel like that those speedrunning like mainstays are causing a lot of strain compared to like the top players and the rest of the community, because I can I'm not saying I can definitely see, like I have literally seen so many people just like kind of crashing out whenever they see a top clearing run in Calamity Ops, and they're just like seeing all this stuff, and it really feels like that they are abusing the game system significantly to a point where a lot of the average people just simply do not have any chance whatsoever of even like imagining themselves in a master rank lobby.
Yeah, I mean, I see it a lot in the Reddit, in the Discord, that people are stating that as soon as like one of these guys like Clay or Zombie or whoever like post a video of like, hey, these are our fastest times, like we're number one on the leaderboard, like check out our run, it immediately gets berated with like, oh, you guys glitched through a barrier, oh, you guys are doing unstocks, you guys are glitching, you're breaking the game, you should all be banned, like you go F yourself, like there's just huge berating against it, and it's like I understand because like there are rewards based off of your tier, but I still like to firmly stand behind that, like when it comes to being the top best of the best, and this isn't just in this community, this isn't just the speedrunning community in general, you will take advantage of any single aspect or mechanic in the game available to you to reach the top of that leaderboard. And I don't see a problem with that. If they want to eventually patch it down the road and it no longer becomes a mechanic in the game, then sure, I'm completely fine with that. But as long as those mechanics are in the game, players should be able to take advantage of those to better increase their times.
Yeah, I agree.
And if you're not, if you have some moral dilemma against using those, then I'm sorry, but you're just handicapping yourself, and you'll have to live with being an expert or master. And obviously, there's plenty of people out there who just aren't in that boat, and also just feel like they deserve to be in Overseer or in a higher rank. And there'll always be those people. You see it in any game that has a ranking system. There's always people who deserve to say like, oh, it's my teammates. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Like I should be the best, like the top of the leaderboards. When in actuality, they just shouldn't. That's my stance on it, at least.
Okay.
We do actually have one of those top players in this call with us, so
yeah.
What's your perspective on this, Sid?
My perspective on this,
Yeah.
honestly, as a person who beat expert and master through matchmaking, like that's how I did it originally. I beat it through just the fine players, right?
Yeah.
And ever since, Overseer has been just kind of free, since basically no one's in it.
Yep.
Nobody's playing the game
It's
anymore.
funny because I made this point in a video recently. I had many people in the comments be like, Overseer isn't free, it's so hard. And I'm like, man, if like my Master 1 score would put me in Overseer right now. So like,
yeah.
And my Master 1 score was not that great at the time. It's like, so
that's what I said. That's what I said in like my endgame prep video that I put out recently. Like how to prep for the future endgames, or the best strategy to prep. I made a statement that if you make those rank up scores, you're gonna hit those rank up like promotion zones regardless.
That will, I have a feeling that will change over time, month after month, as more people promote into Overseer. The scores will get more competitive. But like right now, it's definitely free loot.
Especially with the merger coming up.
Oh my, merger.
I mean, we could. Yeah, I
That's
I don't
actually
know.
our
If,
next topic.
Oh,
yeah,
great!
I don't know
great.
if they're going
Amazing
to.
segue.
Amazing.
I don't know if they're gonna expand. Maybe.
Yep. So obviously server merging, and in this I have hidden red flag or from player feedback, and essentially. What
Oh
that-
man, I got some
that
things
means
to say
is-
about this for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So like obviously the quote hidden red flag is that they're merging the servers specifically because of the player count drop, and they're not really anticipating it getting much higher, or is it a change born from player feedback from players wanting to be connected with everybody?
I'm
Oh, you want to start?
I'm going to
off?
be on the positive.
Go for it.
I'm going to be the positive side here, and I'm going to say I think it was just player feedback. There hasn't been a single day where I've had issues matchmaking with people. Like I can't. It's not like I go into a strike and I can't find a match. I feel like the only instance where that becomes an issue has been shifting gates, which
Shifting
requires
gates.
12 people.
which requires like so many players to start, and especially once you start getting to the higher ranks and it doesn't want to match you with the lower ranks, it becomes an issue to find a match. I mean, at that point, I feel like they should have just made it like it was in the beta. You could start a match of shifting gates if you're just even by yourself, and it'll just throw you in with 20 some odd bots. But outside of shifting gates, like I haven't had any issues matchmaking. I still see Haven like filled to the brim with people. I would like to believe it's just like them taking feedback from us saying that like, hey, I would like to play with my friends in the EU. I don't like that I can't play with all of these other people, and like specifically for me a lot because my play times are extremely late at night. A lot of the people that I communicate with are in the EU, and I just can't play with them.
I feel like I'm in a bit of the middle. I feel like it is because of player feedback, or they did start working on the feature because of player feedback. Because ever since it was announced that we were gonna have separate servers and that everyone was just gonna be on one server, that's basically when that happened. That's when the player feedback started coming in about merging the servers, like literally immediately. So I think mainly it was because of that initial like wave of feedback that they started working on it. Maybe they did see the population decreasing on some of the other servers, like Latin America and APAC being pretty low, and they maybe fast-tracked the feature because of it. But I think the feature was coming regardless. Just that maybe they put a bit more resources because they realized some of those outlier servers, there's just not as many people.
Yeah,
I mean, when
and I don't
Eclipse
know
happened, do you guys hear about the Eclipse on APAC? That there wasn't enough teams?
Yeah,
That
yeah, it wasn't even 100 teams.
there wasn't even 100
Oh,
teams
wow.
that cleared Eclipse on APAC. And that was like a month ago. So APAC just wasn't
yeah.
really like populated that well, even to begin with.
And like from in my chat, I've just always heard that APAC is like the most dead thing.
Yeah.
ever. Like they can't.
Constantly.
That's crazy.
People can't even find a GM.
Oh, really? Oh.
I would assume that like people would wanna like even just have like their character on APAC or like make an alternate on APAC just because it is the first server to get updates. It'd be like the easiest way to like see shit that's coming in the future. I mean, even if it's only like 12 hours or whatever, like you think some people would be interested in that, but to be fair, I haven't done that, so like
I thought about
why
it a
would
few
anyone
times, but I
who's
haven't done
just
it.
casual like
The thing is
if,
that
if
like
us
it's
like
so
diehards
much.
aren't doing it, like why would a casual do it?
The thing is, it's so much work to maintain
Yeah. Uh-huh.
in accounts in this game.
Yeah, it does make me curious though, because I know some people who have mentioned in my chat, in my comments and whatnot, that like they're worried because they have characters like on a EU server and on an NA server, and they're like, okay, so when this server merger happens, like what is happening to my characters? Like, am I just losing one of them, and are they gonna merge? Like, they haven't really given information on if you have a character in South America and in North America, what's happening to one of those characters? Like, are you losing everything that you spent money on in that character? Like, how is it going to work?
I imagine that we're gonna get some more details on the feature in a blog post, because I mean I imagine it's gonna be a similar situation to the blog post for like the launch of the game and also for something like the Eclipse.
Yeah, they did
That we
say
received
that
before?
they were gonna post a blog post pretty soon because they did say the merger is happening in
Yeah.
season 2, so there's only like 2 more
Yeah.
weeks.
So it's definitely going to happen soon. And also on, that mention of the blog posts, I really hope that weekly blog posts become a thing.
It would be so nice.
Like an actual, like, this week in Destiny
Uh-huh.
Rising.
Yeah, just not like
Rather
enough,
than
like
just
just
like
not
the
patch
patch
notes.
notes.
Yeah. I always do enjoy the This Week in Destiny, even if I don't check them out every week. It is nice to
Mhm.
have that communication
Yeah.
between the developers and the community.
I definitely feel like the communication that we've received, as well as some of the event improvements that we've observed so far, has risen like morale levels a bit in this community. But it's also kind of weird because like I know me and a lot of like my sort of like circle went through our like deep pit of despair
The crashing now.
a couple weeks before this point, and a lot of that came, and like we were having some strain with a lot of the other community members because we're kind of like ahead of where they are.
Hmm.
So like we went through that and then got to the other side of that, and we're seeing some light at the end of the tunnel with like these blog posts. But because we're ahead of that point from a lot of the general community, now a lot of the general community has hit their point of like, oh my gosh, doom and gloom, it's all over. Destiny Rising is dying.
I don't know,
And I'm just kind of sitting here looking at a lot of them be like, oh, now you get it. Okay.
Yeah, it's funny because like some of you guys have like taken a completely different perspective than I have. Like when it comes to the content,
Mhm.
I didn't expect shit all from Act 1 and Act 2, and that's basically what I got. I got what I expected. I didn't expect any new activities, no major updates, no nothing until Season 2. Like I didn't expect new activities within a month of the game's coming out. I didn't expect like a new big story drop or new destination within a month of the game coming out. I was like, if we're getting anything that's coming in Season 2, I didn't expect anything more than a battle pass for Act 1 and Act 2. And to see 3 characters drop and story quests for those characters, I was more than happy to receive that. Obviously, other people who've been more into the gacha space than I have are expecting more, but I don't know. I was happy with what I got, and I'm expecting Season 2 to be a banger, and I'm happy with where the game is, and I've been happy where the game has been. Obviously, does need to be some changes, but I'm happy with things. So it's like I'm kind of on the opposite spectrum of at least some of you.
I mean, a part of my expectations came from the fact that I was a beta tester. And I was expecting there to be a bit more content at the launch compared to what it was like in the beta.
Hmm.
That's
Especially
fair.
because we got a significant amount more content going from alpha to the beta. Like the whole Red Sea Rift area, that whole campaign, 2 other strikes.
The time frame from alpha to beta was much larger than beta to launch, though, wasn't it?
Yes, it was much.
I think alpha to beta was like 9 months, and then beta to launch was like 2 months.
It was like 3 months, but like one of the things about it that I was mentioning was that the beta build was probably ready a lot, like significantly prior to when it actually came out, because it did come out at like kind of like a weird time.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I think that was the case was because they were probably running into some issues with Apple, because they couldn't launch the beta on iOS devices because it was
Yeah, I remember that.
monetized. So I think they were like running into some issues with that, and that delayed the launch of the beta initially.
Yeah. I would say over like the 2 month span of Act 1 and Act 2, like I don't know, I've personally been happy. We got the first raid race event, we got the Eclipse event, we got Morgan's Prey, we have a Halloween event coming up. Like I feel like they've given us a lot to like keep us at least somewhat busy.
The main issue is that it was all front loaded. Okay, we got everything in the first 3 weeks, and then nothing for like the next what is it, 5?
Yeah, there were a couple of weeks where like there was essentially nothing happening.
Yeah,
I mean-
like especially with the Sparrow racing event,
Oh.
like just the bad events in general, like really didn't help.
I don't know. Maybe
I
it's
mean,
just 'cause,
the
like,
Morgan's
I've-
Hunt was exciting to initially like see, but when we kind of realized, oh, basic rewards are kind of useless for this.
Yeah, I mean, I've just enjoyed
Everybody
like
checked
the
out.
new activities themselves, even outside of like the rewards. I've just enjoyed playing them, and I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've been through the Destiny drought of like Taken King, The Rise of Iron, and other things that I'm just
Well,
used to longer periods of times of no content than like 3 weeks. Like I can go play another game and like I can wait for season 2 to come out. Like I'm not gonna die over 2 weeks of no content. Like I don't need a new activity every other week to survive.
the main thing comparing that to the Destiny content droughts, though, is the fact that in Destiny you could get to a point where you feel like you can like be done. In Destiny Rising, because of how restrictive the like resource gain and the character building is, you can't really get to a point where you feel like you're done. Like you can check out for a bit and then come back when there's more to do. And the other part of that is that there's a more consistent gameplay loop in Destiny historically compared to what we have in Destiny Rising right now, because right now in Destiny Rising you essentially have either grinding for artifact rolls or waiting for pinnacle energy to recharge.
Yeah, and I mean, I have seen plenty of people in the community basically state that like they're more than like they're happy just hopping on for an hour every day to like do their dailies, spend their pinnacle coins, and then just hop off and go do something else. Like there's plenty of people who do enjoy that. That enjoy that they don't feel like they have to play the game for 8 hours to like keep up or whatever. Um,
And
So
I
I-
definitely
there-
feel
there's-
like
there's a
I'll
mix,
let-
right?
Yeah. I definitely feel like that should still be facilitated, like the weekend warriors, because like we do need casual players just as much as we need like free to play players and just population in general. But the main thing, or one of the main problems, is because grind beyond that initial state, like that initial spending your energy, feels unrewarding, unfulfilling. The playlists are not populated. So
Yeah.
even if you have a bunch of people who may still log on to spend their energy, you're running into a lot of issues like with the shifting gates, or like with even something like a Grandmaster Strike playlist, where there are people who are logging on to try and spend their energy, but they can't participate in the activities, or their ability to participate in the activities is worsened or diminished due to the fact that the playlists aren't populated, because there isn't much reason to interact with it beyond that.
I haven't had
Like,
a full
initial spending your
like
energy.
Gauntlet Blitz game in like a month where there's 6 people. That's
Mhm.
also because I think that's also because just not running Gauntlet Blitz and running it with the commander is just straight up better.
Yeah.
So that's probably also
That's another issue. That's another issue, is that like we're at a situation where it's more rewarding to not play the game essentially than it is to play the game on its highest difficulties. And I personally feel like that the reward structure needs to be like redesigned to a point where like we can actually grind for resources, we can actually build our characters, moving away from like that restrictive nature of
Yeah, I feel like there should be a change with like I know we've talked about this in the past, but
Yeah.
like change on like Grandmaster. Like Grandmaster shouldn't be giving the same rewards as a regular strike.
100%.
And like once again, I'm holding the cope that like those changes, artifact changes, like reward changes will change in season 2.
Yeah.
And I mean we'll have to wait and see.
Because the thing is, we have enough RNG in this game already to actually facilitate that grind. And if we get like just a little bit of a weapon roll overhaul, like adding more perks to the weapon pools, we could just straight up get to that point where we do have that like really, really good gameplay loop of like grinding for god rolls, of grinding for upgrade materials, of building every single character in the game, if they're willing to push for that.
Yeah.
And like beyond the feedback that we've obviously still given them, there is this upcoming game, Duet Night Abyss, that I feel like could really change the entire like free to play scene forever if it succeeds. Like Duet Night, and by succeeds I mean like if it's able to sustain itself well, like if it's essentially able to make money, because that's the thing, it doesn't need to completely blow up and make like $1 billion, $1 million. It doesn't need to be the next Genshin Impact. If it's able to make money, like make profit off of this new model that like, or it's not a new model, but it's new to the essentially mobile scene.
I mean, it also depends on how the game is. Like, you probably know more about the game than I do, but it's like it also really depends on how monetization is marketed in that game. Like, yes, there's no gotcha, yes, there's no pulling for
Well,
characters, but that doesn't mean that there's going to be some other monetized limitation to progression in some shape or form that hasn't been shown off.
No. So we actually do know a lot of details about the monetization. Whether they so from some ads, we do know that there's going to be a cosmetic gotcha. So there's going to be a gotcha for skins and like accessories and the sort. Kind of like how we have halfway in Destiny Rising already.
Oh,
Beyond that, there's also just going to be like direct purchase cosmetics as well. And there's also going to be some levels of pay to progress.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like you guys won't know until you actually really start getting into that and the end game of that game. Like, how restrictive is that going to be? Like, is it going to be like if you're dropping your credit card, you can max out a character right away, or is it going to be like the free to play players aren't going to be able to basically progress at all unless they're spending money to get these materials they need to upgrade the characters? These are things that you'll have to figure out when the game actually comes out. But it's definitely a worry that I have. Like, if they're not going to be getting a bulk of their income from gotcha pulls, and I don't think you're also going to get a bulk of money from.
They would be getting a lot of their income, because we already know from a ton of other free-to-play games that the cosmetic-only monetization model does work.
Well, I'll have to see. I'm interested to see how it pans out.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't be playing the game, so you'll have to let me know. But I'm looking forward to see how it pans out and how it could possibly change the future of other games like Destiny Rising and other things.
Because obviously, like, the reason why I bring that up is because our own player feedback could obviously be a factor, but when it comes to business decisions, which changing the energy system and the monetization model of Destiny Rising, that's a business decision. Regardless of how good it could make the game to play, ultimately they do still have to make money. Because they're not going to like make a decision, they're not going to make a change if that change would lead to the direct death of any potential earnings from the title whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I think we can all agree that the current like resource gain and monetization model is not really sustainable, and it's also not really fun. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody can state that their enjoyment of the game is directly hindered by the restrictive nature of all of these systems.
Yeah, I would say so. I think if I was able to build more characters and actually try out like more characters, like all the 4-stars that I never touch, I would be able to like try out different things and just have a I would be main that core maybe by now if I would.
I don't know. I feel like it definitely restricts me in ways of like pushing the leaderboard. Like, if I wanted to like try to push to be top of the leaderboard, I find that I'm restricted in that aspect. But when it comes to just naturally playing the game, like pretty much all of my characters are at a point where they can do Grandmaster. Like, my lowest level character is, I think, the only character that can't do Grandmaster. So like I can play the game with any character that I want at the moment. I'm not feeling restricted on like who I can play as and how I can play them, but that's just how I'm feeling about the game right now.
There's obviously a clear disconnect in what we like mean by playing the game, because like for me, having a character built means that they can clear endgame. Essentially, that's like my perspective on how built a character is, because essentially if you can't clear endgame with that character, or if they're not endgame prepared, then it's back to the chopping block, or it's to the chopping block with them.
I get that. I like what I'm saying is, like, if I
'Cause-
wanted to, I could go into Expanse right now with my lowest arc piercing character, which is a tall, and I could complete it with her. I'm not going to get all the
Well,
keys, but I could definitely complete it with her.
I mean that there's the thing right there. You won't get all the keys, and if you're not getting all the keys, you're missing out on the rewards. It'd be like saying, "I've got this build in Destiny 2. Like, watch how it completely destroys patrol content, or watch me like trash heroic strikes with this build in Destiny."
Yeah, but if you're having fun doing it, like,
Well,
like, I get what you're saying, but it's like, if I'm expecting to complete the best of the best content, then yeah, I'll use my, like, I can do that. I can do that with my Hellhest right now, but like, it's not saying that I can't also play and enjoy that content with my Atal. Like, yes, I'm not going to get every key with her, but I can still complete it. But I get what you're like. I see like, I see what you're saying. Like, you would like it if you could go into Expanse or Calamity Ops with any character and have the ability to, you know, level up or like hit the top times or whatever.
well, yeah, because to me, like the Expanse and Calamity Ops, those are not just the most supported modes, but also the most fun modes in the game to participate in
Yeah.
currently.
Actually gonna
If
add
it
a
was-
couple of things right here at the end from like the points I made earlier. When I talk about the resource restraint, I don't think any of us just want them to just drop every single resource just on us immediately.
No.
You know?
No.
Yeah, because I'm sure
I
someone's
wanna
gonna bring
grind
it
for the
up.
resources.
We don't want all the resource to just rain on us.
Yeah.
We basically want
I want to grind
have
for the resources.
we want to have the option to possibly get these resources, even if it's
Yeah.
a low percentage. We want to gamble for those resources.
I personally would say I would like it if we were paying for Battle Pass and like the Blessing. Like, let's say every month you're buying the Founders Bundle. I would like it if that would make it so it would give you enough resources if you were playing every day and doing all the things you needed to do to give you the resources to like max out 3 characters in a month. They give us 2 characters in a month. It gives us enough resources to max 2 characters and an extra one so we can somewhat play a catch-up game. And
Yeah.
eventually, over, you know, months and months, you'll be able to have every character maxed out. To like their max would be 72, 73K.
I feel that's pretty reasonable.
And especially like say 6 months, 7 months down the road when a new player starts the game and there's, you know, double the characters, it's going to be rough for those people. At least that's how I look at it. I'd like if it give you enough resources to max out the equivalent of what they're giving us every month plus an extra.
Let me look at this.
You got anything to add on this topic, Sid?
Honestly, not in particular. I don't really have much
Okay.
about this topic.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Live in the Expanse.
Oh,
The Expanse, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, next topic we had was something that I definitely feel like is a point of contention right now, especially in the community, and it's toxic positivity versus constructive feedback and our experiences with it. So, are you guys familiar with the term toxic positivity?
yes, I am very
I'm sure
familiar.
most of you
Coming
are.
from Destiny 2, I am very
Yeah.
familiar. So I feel like it's people just tend to assign you like 1 or 2 camps. Like, people cannot understand you criticizing the game but also loving the game at the same time for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
They feel like if you're criticizing the game, you want the game to fail, you want the company to die, and you want the game shut down tomorrow. And that's what it feels like. But I feel like you always have to have a bit of criticism whenever you see something that needs to be criticized. You know, you can't just pretend something is okay, something is all right when it's clearly not. But you know, then there's also just doom posting, I guess, in the other side. So you gotta meet somewhere in the middle.
So for the people in the audience who don't know what toxic positivity is it's essentially just essentially when there's a person out there who will intentionally ignore like negative things about a title, like points of contention that like directly harm it. And I'm not talking about something that it's like, okay, there's a difference in opinion here. I'm talking like this is something that is directly a negative to the gameplay experience. So, like, let's say if there is, I don't know, server issues, that the toxic positive person would say, like, oh, well, you know, like, why don't you just invest, like, you're a free-to-play player. You should invest more money if you want them to improve the servers. That would be an example of toxic positivity. So, I have definitely had a personal run-in with a lot of, like, toxic positivity, especially in that, like, Act 2 launch period. Because, like, I just want to say, like, that Act 2 launch day was such a crap show.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, Act 2. People had their hopes a lot higher than the game was able to provide, let's just say.
It wasn't just like that people had their hopes up, it's also just the direct issues that were like immediately visible. For instance, the uncommunicated server maintenance extension, where we were locked out of service for like another 2 hours.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that happened. Yeah, it did happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's straight. Like the Jack Sparrow meme was like, first time? Like,
oh yeah.
Well, the main issue is that it was like completely uncommunicated. Like, at least when it comes to Bungie, for however often it happens, they usually give people a heads up that like, okay, yeah, the servers are extending their maintenance.
Oh yeah, we didn't know that for a while. We were just
with Destiny Rising, like, we had people in the server ask like some community managers and moderators, like, "Hey, is there server extended maintenance?" And they asked back, "Wait, you guys aren't in yet?" Like, that was definitely the experience for sure.
Yeah, it definitely took them a little while longer to put out like, oh, there's going to be an extension. Though I mean, the compensation put in place was more than generous, more than anything Bungie would ever give us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Obviously, beyond that, we had like after we finally got into the servers, we had a bunch of glaring issues, like the difficulty spike in the expense, like how a bunch of exotics just straight up stopped functioning, how a significant portion of the new content or like new things available were straight up bugged, like the bow stuff with Hellhest. You guys remember the limp bow shots?
Are they?
I don't think so.
Are they still in? I haven't used her enough. Are they still there?
They fixed that. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
The incorrect artifact descriptions.
Oh, that was a big one. That was a big one.
Yeah, that was a big one. Especially because like that's something that I've been harping on since the launch of the game, and just having a new release launch with even more incorrect descriptions, that really set me off. And also just like some things that were like really, really like what's the word? Like really crushing, I should say, to anybody who had like any kind of hope or excitement, like the spending event, the fact that Hellhest was just straight up power creeping characters that much, and also the fact that Trinity Ghoul being a battle pass weapon. I feel like those three things, because like obviously the other stuff we could say that's just unintended issues that did get fixed.
Yeah.
But like those three things were obviously stuff that got like consciously put in.
I mean, I don't think the third thing is really that big of an issue. I don't see an issue with Trinity Ghoul in the Battle Pass.
I
That
really disagree.
the other things that like the power creep on Hellhest was interesting, and the spending event was definitely not great. That should have been something else. I feel like the spinning wheel should have been like Hellhest themed, and then like the spending event should have been something different. I feel like I liked the spinning wheel event. I thought that was nice. I feel like maybe that like both of them should have been Hellhest themed, or like I don't know. But the fact that the only like Hellhest related event was basically buy draws was not great.
Yeah. I really disagree with the Trinity Ghoul in the Battle Pass being something that's like fine, because it's not a situation where the Battle Pass is just something that you get for like $5 and grind out. That's a smoke and mirrors, because you have to spend $5 to get the Battle Pass track, but that's not enough to get all of Trinity Ghoul. To get all of Trinity Ghoul, you have to spend another $5 to get the extra tokens, so that's $10. But that only gets you up to 3 copies. In order to get that last copy, you have to invest like another 20 or yeah, like another $25 or so.
I mean, to be fair, if we're talking
in black
about
market
reason,
coins?
like
In order to get the rest of the tokens. If it was a situation where you could get all of Trinity Ghoul with the Battle Pass, like not necessarily instantly, but if we got Battle Pass weapon tokens from the tier 50 chests, and it was just a situation where like, okay, we get it over time,
yeah,
and it would give us enough to get Trinity Ghoul maxed out with the paid Battle Pass if we max it out, or not even max it
we're
out, if we
talking
get enough
like
levels.
we're talking different things here. Like like if you're stating like the currency issue on maxing out a battle pass weapon, yes, I agree that having to spend a ridiculous amount of money to max out a battle pass weapon, or wait like 2 months of extra materials and skip out on other battle pass weapons to level one battle pass weapon, I think that's complete shit. But them adding Destiny 1 weapons as Battle Pass weapons, or I mean Destiny 1 or 2 weapons as Battle Pass weapons, I don't have any issues with that. I don't have
The main problem to me is that is a premium item, like a very premium item that they essentially did no work on. It's the same issue why I have with like them selling that Wishbone Sparrow for silver. Like this isn't stuff that was made for Destiny Rising. This is stuff that they took the models for, okay? They took the concepts for, and they just repackaged it. Not, and it's not even like they changed stuff around with it. It's literally the exact same weapon and the exact same like cosmetic, except we just have to buy it again in the other game.
I mean, Trinity Gold definitely has more to it through Catalyst spans than like
obviously there's
like the default one. And I mean the emote isn't a straight rip. It's definitely different. It's not the exact same emote. They play differently. They look different. The Sparrow is, but again, the Sparrow is different because it needs to be programmed differently because it works differently through Sparrow racing. It's not just a drop it in and it work. Like they all have different stats.
They already have all the Sparrow stuff built up in the game already. Okay, it's not like this is a Sparrow. They have to individually code how every single Sparrow works. Okay, each Sparrow is just a skin. It's a cosmetic. And granted, they do have different stats, but the stats, those are just numbers that go up and down. Okay, those are just scalars on certain things. Okay, the actual cosmetic itself, the item itself, is literally just a rip. It would be like if they took, I don't know, the King's Fall ship and put it in the Eververse in Destiny 2.
I don't have any
I don't know. I don't get what you're getting at, but that's fine. I mean, you're talking about something that's just you're talking about a Sparrow that's just a purchasable silver shop thing that you don't have to buy if you don't want to. And like we were talking about Trinity Ghoul, and I'm trying to state that they did do changes to Trinity Ghoul to bring it into Destiny Rising. It functions different. It has different abilities on top of the abilities that it has in Destiny 2.
The thing is,
I feel like there were enough changes made to it to like say I'll spend $5 to get a new exotic gun that's not in this game
Okay,
currently.
but the thing is that you don't spend $5. I went over that already. You're spending like $30 to $40 for Trinity Ghoul.
How much is the battle pass basic?
So battle pass basic is 5. Okay, but
Okay, and also you don't have to spend money. It's in the free like bout. Like you could get it for like free to play players can get it. Like
Well-
obviously they can't get the like the second and third catalyst band.
Well, yeah, but if you don't get the second and third catalyst band, you can't use it in the content that matters.
You can't use it in any content that matters right now because it's a shit gun or weapon. But like,
Yeah,
I
but
get what you're saying. That's
what
beyond
happens? What happens when there's a battle pass weapon where it's not bad, where it is actually the best weapon to use? Okay, because that's like something that I've seen a lot when it comes to people where they're just like, oh yeah, Trinity Ghoul, that doesn't matter because you wouldn't use Trinity Ghoul anyway. What happens when there is a situation like that? Like, let's say they add Ace of Spades as a battle pass weapon.
Okay, but
Okay,
again,
Ace
like
of Spades is
I
the
already
most cracked.
stated that I agree with you that I believe that the battle pass method of getting weapons and upgrading them is bad and needs to change. I don't agree with you that bringing Destiny 1 weapons into Destiny Rising in the battle pass is a bad idea. I am completely fine if one day they drop Galahorn in the battle pass. I don't have an issue with that. I have an issue with the upgrade method of it. I have an issue with getting catalyst bands being locked behind like $50 purchases. Yes, I feel like that should change. I don't feel like it's an issue. Like I don't have a problem if they like next month they bring like Galahorn. It's a spread thing. So Galahorn or they bring Truth because it's a Void Rocket launcher or whatever, right? I mean, okay, that's a lie. I'd have an issue with that because that gun was in the beta already and it exists in the game's files. But
Cool.
I think you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like the thing is we already have all of those weapons. Like all those reissued weapons from Destiny 2 and those have very much populated the pools. When I am looking for something as a premium purchase in this title, I want to be given something new. I don't want to have like the main reason I get something to be just to have it the way essentially that I already had it prior. Like I don't want to spend silver on weapons or like money essentially on weapons that I've already played with and on cosmetics that I already have obtained in Destiny 2.
I don't think we're going to agree on this because my response
Okay.
to you for that is just going to be then don't buy the battle pass. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we're just not going to agree on this. I have no issue
Okay.
with them bringing
Okay.
Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 weapons into the battle
Alright.
pass.
Yeah. We should just go ahead and move on. We both said our piece on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, next topic we had is obviously the content drought, either it being a lack of direction or bad pacing. And I think we've already touched on some content drought
Yeah.
related stuff already.
Plenty. But
Yeah, plenty.
I think it was just bad pacing. Especially with us having season 0. I don't know why we didn't just start at season 1.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
seems like season 0 was totally just unneeded. We could have just launched at season 1 and it would have been the same thing. But yeah, I think it's also just front loading a lot of content. They just didn't pace it correctly. It kind of hit us a bit similar to what D2 Vanilla was like. It front loaded all its content and then there was nothing else to do for like a while. It seems like the same thing is happening just in Destiny Rising. So I wish they would have spread the content out maybe a little better.
Yeah.
But I think it came down to just bad pacing.
I would definitely agree with the bad pacing thing. But I definitely feel like a big issue did have to do with the events, like I mentioned before. If we had better events,
Oh yeah.
then I feel like it definitely would be a lot less exacerbated. It's been a while since Clay said anything. You have, I mean, obviously, like, you're mainly focusing on the endgame stuff in general, so you probably have, like, a different perspective on the whole content drought thing, Clay?
My whole perspective is I legit sit here and play Expanse for new times, and that's pretty much all I do.
I mean,
Like that's my form of content. because I don't do character requests or anything.
Yeah.
Like I haven't touched them at all. I have them all. I just don't do them.
So when it comes in that
Like,
case,
would you look
what-
forward to like if they made some sort of like special, like would you like them to make some sort of special expanse or like Calamity Ops like event for like a week or two? Like what maybe it's like I don't know. I don't even know how they would do it, but like something like even if you had an idea on like a different form of expanse that they could do as a weekly like event. Like even like a dream expanse event for you. Like what would that look like?
No. A really silly idea for expanse is I would say lock lock your character halfway through.
Like you'd
So
have to
yeah, so
switch
you have to swap
characters
to a new
halfway through.
one.
That would be cool.
Oh wow.
That would probably be the funniest idea I could have for expanse.
It's already
Yeah.
like you get a chest like every 3, right? So it'd be cool if like every time you got a chest you had to switch a character.
Ah.
And they could change the mechanics for what it is. Like I don't know, 3 stages arc, 3 stages solar.
And
But-
3
but
stages void.
obviously, like
Well,
the big
yeah.
thing that they would have to adjust to compensate for something like that, it would have to allow you to build a lot more characters in this game.
Oh,
Yeah,
building characters.
It'd be cool. I'd be down for something like that.
Mhm.
I'd have fun with that. Or they can make it so they have an expanse week where you can only play as Ikora. Also,
Wait a
it's spread Sheikah. Also, it's piercing Sheikahs.
Pierce the
You
Sheik
might be onto something.
Yeah,
Arc piercing Ikora only.
we've got some people grinding those out. It's actually been kind of entertaining to see.
But I definitely feel like they could have come up with some more event ideas, even for like the activities that are even in the game. I would have instead of like a second Morgans, I would have liked to see some sort of like event based around Legacy because they haven't touched that at all. And like the Legacy is kind of cool. I do enjoy it.
I hate Legacy.
You might be the only person that actually
I hate
enjoys
Legacy.
Legacy, bro. Oh my god.
Dude, when I go into Legacy and I get like one of those like cool like special teleports that like bring you to like the special room with like the Minotaur boss and like the tons of motes dropping, like I
That's
find
the
that it's so
only
fun.
that's the only exciting thing about Legacy. It is like it's literally just eyes glazed over, like oh my god.
But I feel like if they were to have an event where they were to make it like a bit more difficult and make it so like each rotation, like every time you came out of the teleporter, there was like Morgan's Prey type modifiers or something like they could have done something
Now-
cool with it
Yeah.
event wise.
something that would be interesting to see with like the Legacy idea that I just came up with right now was you've got like 2 phases. So one phase is you're just like gathering as many motes as you can to bank them, and the more motes you gain, the more buffs and like more time you have in order to attack a boss.
Oh, okay, that's
That'd
interesting.
be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then add an
essentially
invader.
the whole
Oh,
goal
no,
of it-
not Gambit.
essentially the whole goal of it would be to like clear the boss in as few phases as possible.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I like I was saying, like there's tons of stuff like that, like event wise, that they could do with like stuff that's already in the game. Like, and obviously it would take time to like program like stuff like that. So like I'm hoping they're finding a way to like maybe better streamline stuff like the Morgan's event for other activities in the future.
But obviously the primary thing for events is that like going forward we need events to be rewarding.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
I feel like it's a hard sell because I like at some points where I'm like, I want them to give more Lumina leaves so I can get more event draws, but at the same time it's like I want more boats for like the permanent draw. Like I haven't permanent drawed in so long because I'm spending all my leaves on the event draw because I don't want to spend my leaves on the permanent. Like you get what I'm saying?
Already, and I spent leaves on permanent draw to T6 my name.
Yeah, like. I don't
But
know.
it was really funny because like I did my permit draws by spending leaves and I got like Ningfei twice on stream.
My Ningfei is currently tier 1, and I've gotten one. I think my Yolder is tier 0, and my Tan 2 is tier 4.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of Tan 2s, which I mean I don't mind because I main him, but I would have liked some more Nings as well.
Yeah.
I think that's
Well-
just it. It's like I'm very reluctant to spend my leaves on the permanent banner because you hear all the gotcha people are like, well, the permanent banner is always going to be around. You'll get it done eventually. But at the same time, they're just like, we're not getting any boats, so it's like I feel like I'm never gonna get it done ever.
One day I'll get to 180. One day.
So I think we've like already covered most of the content dread stuff like now and especially before as well. So I've got one last topic here that I had written down, and it's the season 2 expectations, thoughts, like what you think would be good, what you expect to see, and what you would want to see.
Okay.
So, like, essentially, what you think would be needed for the community to, have a good time with it, to not be disappointed with it. What you expect them to do, like, beyond, like, what's right here, like, what would be, like, you think needed, what do you actually think they're going to release, and what you would personally want to see from it.
Okay. I guess we should go one by one on this, right? Because we all have different things that we probably want.
You want to start on them?
Sure. I could start. Now, things that I would want, I guess it was first things that the community needs. Definitely needs to address some of those endgame materials. It's very obvious that is like the biggest pain point, especially now that most of the people have gotten to the endgame and they're feeling it. So, with season 2 being like a big thing, a big release, a lot of people are expecting some changes. So it would be very nice if those changes, even if it's not all of them, just that some of those changes are actually in season 2. Something that alleviates some of those endgame material problems that I'm sure you have heard all about, tons of videos on. We talked about them even earlier, just on here. So that's definitely something that needs to happen, or it would be good for the community to happen. More story would be good. If there's another part of like the Red Sea Drift we're missing, hopefully it would come out with season 2. And it's really just better, just overall just better improvements to like the current systems we have, as well as a bit more communication for the community to show that NetEase is listening and building up the goodwill with NetEase. Because at the beginning, it just seemed like there was nobody there. Nobody was manning the ship at all.
Yeah.
Now, for things that I think will actually happen during the release, I think we are gonna see maybe a small chapter story. I'm kind of 50-50 on the map. I'm not sure they're gonna introduce the other part to Red Sea Rift. But I do think that there's gonna be a little bit of like main story. Of course, we're gonna get the character quest with the new character. That is pretty much guaranteed. And maybe a small change when it comes to like endgame materials, but I don't see anything like super big happening. I think it's gonna be maybe a small change, maybe a couple of extra things, couple of improvements to the events, and I think that's all we're really gonna see. Maybe an extra like big event that gets announced right at the launch of season 2 that people will be able to look forward to. But that's it. And I think that's what I'm expecting, pretty much.
Who wants to go next?
I think Clay should go next, because obviously Clay's going to be a bit different than what probably a lot of us are going to say with those three kind of qualifiers.
Yeah, like what he's expecting from season 2.
I'm expecting, okay, I'm expecting a Ning Fei buff.
What have you brought upon us?
Okay, I'm trolling. But genuinely, I think the way that it looks, Ning Fei and Hellhist are going to be a staple for coming stuff. So I don't know if it's bad to wish upon their demise to make stuff harder for them, but I definitely do think it would be fun if Hellhis was challenged a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like when you figured out how to do this Calamity Ops, it's kind of free. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, it was hard, but
When we switched from the tuning phase and a tan to the tuning phase in the Hellhest, like the speed increase was insane on that Calamity Ops last week. I like it blew my mind like how fast you were able to melt everything.
Yep. And people wonder why I put Hellhest in S and Tan in A.
Yeah, it's 100% understandable.
next thing I think we need is an Ikora buff.
Yep.
That is actually
Yep.
something we need. Yes.
Give her 5 supernovas.
I feel like she would benefit a lot from just a faster ability recharge because
Yeah,
her abilities are so good and strong. She melts so fast with her abilities. It's just her weapons are so disappointing to use.
She needs like 20-second cooldowns on her signature abilities.
That or make her like give her something that'll make it so like she doesn't have to reload between each shot, or that something like a even like a buff to just grenade
Well, no,
launchers in
they're
general
gonna
might
they're
help.
gonna give that to Mario. They're gonna give Mario auto loading on the GLs.
Oh yeah,
that-
definitely. I can see it. Here's your Galahorn, and also you don't have to reload it ever.
Predictions? I just hope for more leaderboards, to be honest.
You're not really hoping for any new expanse stages or any new strikes?
Oh, for Expanse, honestly, I'd hope they add like a third section. I don't know, just make it special.
Ah.
Oh, like because since there's already 2 that separate different elements or whatever,
Mhm.
they could have one that's combined. So it forces you to use 2 separate characters, like the idea beforehand.
I would definitely be interested in seeing like a stage 30 to 40 expanse that's not like a regularly resetting version, but it's just like a really, really difficult challenge that there's like 6 of them, like 6 different variants of it.
I'd enjoy that.
And it's like some weird stuff in there as well, like solar impact, like solar shields impact, or even like rainbow.
Just a bit of everything.
Multiple Shinka types. Yeah, multiple Shinka types in the same expanse for like a stage 30 to 40, and you're like always underpowered. It's like a 75k on the final level.
That'd be cool.
Alright,
then-
whose expectations? Oh, never mind. I think I'm
Oh. Oh no, you're good. You're good. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Mm,
All right, you want to go next, Joe?
Yeah. For like things that I'm expecting to see, I'm probably the last area of Red Sea Rift, along with continued story for that area, which will probably, hopefully, give us another strike or 2, and yeah, we'll probably see some changes to activities loot wise. I'm highly guessing we're going to see some changes to how the artifact system works when it comes to attributes, whether that's them giving us a way to better get attributes. There'll be some sort of change to the artifact system, and maybe a change to like the loot for Master and Grandmaster, and then obviously 2 new characters, battle pass, and cosmetics in the store, and like probably some events throughout the season. That's like probably all I'm expecting. My predictions is that the community is going to see the trailer that just launched that showed us going to the moon and like all that other shit it showed in that trailer and be extremely infuriated when none of that is in season 2.
Oh god.
Especially because the hashtag for that trailer showed coming 2026.
Yeah.
I'm expecting that's my prediction. I can already see the Reddit and the Discord fuming. Where's the moon?
I already had
that's
some
kinda-
comments of people expecting us to go to the moon next season.
Yeah, so
it's already
I've
already
already-
happened. It's already the people are already.
That's my
expecting it.
prediction. That's my prediction for like what will happen. Specifically once. I honestly, I'd like to see more story more destinations, more strikes. That's like the stuff that I look forward to the most, like just the story content and playing through strikes and shit like that with friends. Um, I'd love to see some sort of, probably not like this season, but eventually I'd love to see some sort of change to shifting gates. I really enjoy shifting gates a lot. I have a lot of fun with it. And I would love to see some more, whether it's like it's not the same three zones every time. Maybe there's like five or six zones and it like randomizes them every time you go in or something like that. Like some sort of change to shifting gates would be fun. Or an event around shifting gates. I don't know. Also, more cards. I want more cards. I know we're gonna get them, but I've been having a lot of fun with Shadow Shaper Duels. Not gonna lie, I've been playing it a lot recently and just having a blast making all the different decks. I would love to see the Vex archetype for the Shadow Shaper Duels come out next season because we got the Cabal archetype this season. So I'd love to see the Vex get their own archetype next season. That'd be dope. Yeah, I think that covers most of what I'm expecting and what I think we'll see.
All right. Well, when it comes to me, I feel like I might be a bit different and probably a bit more bold than a lot of your own expectations. Or, like, not necessarily expectations, but, like, what I feel like the game might need. So, what I think that the game would need in order to satisfy the community would obviously be to just have like a really big banger patch where essentially just like everything that like new that happens in that patch is a hit. Like hit story, hit mode, or like hit new content, and like the weapons are exciting, the character is exciting too. I feel like that's what would be needed in order to like put the community in a much better spot going forward. I don't feel like they need to do everything that patch or even really overhaul most of like the glaring issues, because the main thing is that when the content was good in that like first 3 weeks, people were happy. Like, even the people like me who were like giving some warning signs, they're like, hey, this is going to be an issue going forward. You know, I wasn't really like complaining as much because there was stuff to do. There was stuff to look forward to, stuff to chase. But obviously when the content drought like dragged on, there was, or the issues became a lot more glaring. So what I'm going to like, what I think NetEase is going to do in the next patch, obviously new character, probably 2 new characters, new 4-star, new 5-star, since that's been a pattern that we've seen going forward. But content wise, I don't think that they're going to put out a new event during the first week. I think it's going to be a light event, because that's kind of what we've seen already, where it's either kind of just like a login or challenge event or some kind of like spending or cosmetic related event, because it seems like they just want the kind of new content that they release to carry that first week.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like content releases, now you guys already did say like second area and Red Sea Rift and maybe new strikes, but personally, I think they're going to add a new blitz. Maybe not a new onslaught, but a new blitz.
Oh, okay.
That's what, like, I was gonna say that. I'm curious on how frequently we can expect new raid-esque content.
Yeah. And part of that has to do with one, like the new area, and the other part has to do with the unseen weapon set that we know they have it like functional in the game and conceptualized completely in the art. It's the iridescent set that I've called it before, like the iridescent Ahamkara set.
I don't know if I've seen this. Whatever this is.
So, I talked about it in a previous video that I put out, like right before Act 2 came out.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the what to expect in Acts 2 and beyond, and I talked about it there. But there is essentially an entire weapon archetype set that we just straight up have not seen at all outside of one instance in the beta where Ikora was wielding a Void Waveframe GL.
Oh, the Waveframe. That's where it's from. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing the Waveframe.
Yes. And that's part of the set. There's a machine gun, a heavy grenade launcher. I think there was a bow. And it was either like, I think it was a sidearm and a scout rifle, maybe.
Okay.
Interesting.
But the reason why I'm thinking that's coming alongside a new Blitz is because when it comes to the weapons that we have in the game currently, outside of obviously the weapon foundries we have, the weapons that we have in the game are stylized based on the enemies that we're directly combating in those cases. So like for instance, when it comes to the Blitz and Onslaught loot pool, those are all Fallen themed weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it comes to that Red Sea Rift expansion and potentially the Blitz that we'd see there, what would we be fighting? What's like that main antagonist that we haven't defeated yet in that Red Sea Rift area? The Ahamkara. And the weapon that we've seen, like that light grenade launcher that Ikora was wielding, is very stylistically similar to the innards of an Ahamkara.
Ah.
With the
It's definitely
only...
it's definitely a possibility, unless
Yeah.
those weapons are only being made specifically for like world loot drops for like the story revolving around the Amkara. I don't
Well,
know.
the thing is that those would definitely be mythic weapons. So, and world drops aren't mythic. At least they haven't been mythic.
I mean, like there's not like world drops, but I mean like there's the foundries and mythic types that are tied to like strikes and stuff as well. Like that's what I mean.
Well, yeah, but I don't really think that they would just simply add it to the pool without adding new content around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Like, or unless we like not not a blitz, but maybe
And-
just a new activity, like completely new activity added to
True, it could be
the
a
board.
new activity. Like Blitz, it could be something different than a Blitz, of course, but like my expectations in Rising is that not to necessarily expect them to do like or add something else on top of it and like bloat the game further
Mm-hmm.
rather than just like adding some expansions and keeping the game a bit tighter, because obviously you do want a more tight and focused experience for the style of game that it is, especially when they're trying to get mobile players into it. Like just doing the whole director thing where they, you just add like a new node on the map every single time, or a new like slide on the activity list. Like at that point, you're just going to be scrolling for a mile to get to the actual activity that you want to farm. So that's one reason why I was leaning a bit more towards a blitz than a new activity, but obviously they could just obviously do something entirely new.
Yeah.
But the other
I'd be
thing,
down for blitz. I'd
the
like
other
the raid
reason-
stuff.
the other reason why I'm expecting that whole weapon set as well as the activity around it to be coming in that season 2 is because there is one primary thing that we have consistently seen across this entire game, and that's weapon drops are very much tied to character drops. And not only that, the weapon elements are also very tied to the character elements. And what are we expecting? Blast, or spread and void. Okay? What is the weapon type of Mario? Light grenade launcher, heavy grenade launcher. What do we not have? A void light GL and a heavy void GL.
Oh.
What do we know is in that weapon set that I mentioned prior? A void light GL and an unknown heavy GL.
Okay, I see what you're cooking.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that I'm going to like say is definitely a bit more a part of my expectations now is maybe some more bold changes and buffs to the reward economy. And this wasn't really something that I was expecting prior to today, but like I mentioned somewhere near the start of the stream, the new Morgren's Hunt event has a much higher exotic artifact drop rate than we've seen anywhere, especially as a basic claim,
Mm-hmm.
while also being able to drop high stat artifacts. So I'm thinking they might loosen up some of these reward restrictions in general, increasing drop rates across activities, while also increasing the quality of said drops as well. At the very least, when it comes to the artifacts. Like, obviously, the whole high stat thing, that could just be a bug. I really hope it's not a
Oh
bug.
yeah, let's hope that it's not a bug.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I feel like they just have to keep it at this point, because it would just cause so much uproar regardless if they're just like, oh, well, that was unintended. You know, all the people who grinded that out that first couple days and got some nice high stat artifacts, you know, like, they're good. But all of you losers who didn't grind it out, guess what? You don't get to have fun anymore. I really hope that they're using this Morgren's Hunt event as like a test bed for what they could do with basic rewards going forward, and we maybe like get some incremental improvements to the game economy in that season 2 update.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Hopefully all of our dreams come true.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Yep.
I want 5 new Eclipse raids.
Juice 5?
Just.
But I mean, that's pretty much like all the topics that I brought in. Anybody else have anything that we think we should cover?
I feel like we covered
Real
pretty
quick.
much everything that we would want to talk
Yeah.
about. Maybe if the
Yeah.
viewers have any like questions, or if anybody else.
Yeah, I'll give. So, anybody in chat want to suggest like any big questions that we could rapid fire through that before we wrap things up?
Did we talk about the new emote system in like the stream, or was that talked
Well,
before
we-
the
we-
stream?
I don't know actually.
I think we might have mentioned it on stream, but the new emote system definitely is
Fire.
fun.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
shit.
amazing.
and I really hope this isn't something that they try to monetize.
Yeah, like I had mentioned it in another video, but it's like it's crazy that they're giving us the ability to make our own emotes, but
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, there's plenty that they can do, like the David S. Pumpkin emote, where they can make emotes that you purchase different than what you can make on your own.
Yeah.
Like they can obviously add more to it. They can, they can give you like a broom that you're flying on. Like that's not something you
Yeah.
can just make yourself.
Yeah.
So there still is avenues for them to make their own special emotes. I still find it amazing that in a mobile gacha game like this, where the monetization is heavy, is the kind of game where this would be the first time I would see this technology pop up.
Yeah. So, somebody asked, do you think we'll go beyond 75k? Hold on, I gotta sneeze.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah. I don't think that we're gonna go beyond 75k. Personally, I feel like they've probably got the power levels really locked down. If we do go beyond 75k, I feel like it would come with a bevy of different system changes and overhauls that
Yeah.
would drastically change the overall game. I don't think that we're going to run into a situation currently with our current systems where the power levels are going to rise at all.
Is it? Yeah, like I don't think it would happen. If it were to happen, I don't think it would happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
Especially with the heat Bungie's been getting for their current power system increases and resets, and
Hmm.
over the past few years of people's hatred of continuous power increases, I don't think we can expect to see it here at least anytime
Yeah.
soon. Also,
Which is-
is 45k max? I thought max was 49,990 when I did the math, unless I was off.
You mean 70?
What? What do you mean 70?
Max power?
Max power?
Yeah, what is max power?
It should be somewhere around like 75k.
I thought 75k was just max.
Yeah, when I checked on someone, yeah, I do mean 75. Sorry. When I checked someone I saw who was very close to it, they were only off by like maybe like 10 or 20 on each of their artifacts. When I added the missing 10 or 20 from the artifacts, it put them at 74,990.
So the thing
Which
is with
seems
that-
weird.
Well, the thing with that is that you also get power bonuses for your artifact tier level. So
Okay,
like
so-
going from 219 to 220 would give you a bigger power bump than going from 218 to 219.
So maybe the last couple 10 refractor, or even the couple last refractors they needed would have given them that extra 10, which I guess would put them at the 75 mark instead of the 74,990.
Mhm.
Interesting. Though, yeah, it'll be. I think the one thing I'm going to be annoyed about is power level of weapons resetting on next season.
Yeah.
Us going from
Oh.
85 back to 80.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. Not a fan. Though to be fair, I have a bunch of them stockpiled because I'm just like, I'm like, well, what if I want to spend it on a different gun and not this gun? And now I just have a
Yeah.
bunch of them sitting in my inventory, and the season's about to end in like 2 weeks, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm just not spending these.
Since we are asking chat questions, I felt like it would be a good idea to turn chat on. On the overlay. Yeah.
Any
So
other questions?
Yeah, any other questions regarding like stuff before we wrap things up and all go our own separate ways?
No, you're stuck
Fast
with
and
me
Furious
forever,
No.
following you to your house.
Yeah.
I don't know
I'll
how-
give it about a few minutes because I know there is like a little bit of stream delay.
Yeah, I did notice the latency on your stream. I don't know if you have it set to like the higher latency or not, but I did notice.
Well,
that there's
YouTube
a-
in general just has latency.
Yeah, I know you can select it in the settings. There's like high, low, and like medium or something like that.
I think I already have it at the lowest latency.
Yeah,
can.
That's
even the
crazy.
lowest
Yeah.
is still like more than Twitch.
That's crazy. So how's your day going?
You know,
I mean, I'm having a good time
That's
talking about
good.
Destiny Rising.
Hell yeah!
Talk about Destiny Rising more than I play it.
I gotta go to work after this, so I'm not gonna have
Ah,
fun
okay.
time after this.
oh no. Well, you know, you got all your Dusty Rice then. I mean, not actually playing,
Yeah.
just talking about the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But well, like Fyro said, it's more fun to talk about it than to play.
Well, I already ran through all my pinnacle. I already ran through my keys, so I'm basically like done for
Oh,
Destiny.
I
no,
haven't
no,
done
no, no.
any of
You gotta go in those artifact mines, man. We've only got a few days of this, or we've only got a week of this Morgan's Hunt event. You gotta make the most of it. You gotta get as many high stats as you can.
I haven't played any Morgans yet. Like I need to get in there and start using some of my Morgan's keys.
Find it
Yeah.
out.
All right. Well, I'm not really seeing any. Or did we talk about any game content being speed focused and if that's healthy for the longevity of the game? Yes, we did talk
Yes.
about that.
Yeah,
Rewind
we've
the
hit all
stream.
the topics.
Mhm.
I think we're good.
Looks like
To
everyone
wrap
moved to
it up.
Blazooka's podcast. No, everybody is either at work or at the hospital for some reason.
I was at the
For some reason, I feel like it's a pretty. Oh,
Yeah.
poor automaton.
Nah, Tom's having a great time at the hospital.
He sure is.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about everything. So, let's just wrap it all up. Everybody give some love to the wonderful guests of this podcast, Joe Nova, More Than Unknown, and Clay Clam or Sid. All of them.
Is it Sid or is it
was definitely.
Side?
Is it Sid or is it Side?
Oh,
I'm
it's
curious.
Sid.
Oh, it's Sid.
It's,
Okay.
it's
okay.
Sid with a Y.
Yeah.
Or they both work.
I always
Yeah.
pronounced it. I always pronounced it side.
Wait, did I say Clay
Right.
Clam instead of Clay Karm?
Yeah,
He is a clay clam.
it's like Sid
the,
from Ice Age.
the clammiest of clays.
Yep. But I give them also love. I've got all their channels linked in the description for the live stream. So send them a nice comment. Leave a nice comment for them on the stream or the video, whichever place you're watching this on right now. And yep, that's about it for this podcast. Thank you all for joining me. I think I'm going to have to use the bathroom and get to doing my own Destiny Rising stuff today.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yep.
Have a good one, boys and
Yep.
girlies.
So long, everyone.